Welcome to Finding Holiness, where we delve into timeless Torah wisdom, revealing the sacred in everyday moments. Join us on a journey to elevate your spirituality and discover holiness in every aspect of life. I'm your host, Rabbi David Kadosh, and together, let's embark on a path of spiritual exploration. I hope you enjoy this next episode. Okay, we are Perek Tet, Mishna Aleph, Masechet Yevamot. The Mishnah says, Yesh mutarot le'ba'alehen v'asurot le'ivmehen. There are sets of relationships where women would be permitted to their husbands but are forbidden to their yavams, which are their husband's brother. There are relationships that are mutarot le'ivmehen v'asurot le'ba'alehen, where they're permitted to their yavams but they're forbidden to their husbands. Mutarot la'elu v'la'elu. There are some relationships that are some women that are permitted to both the husbands and the yavam, and vasurot la'elu la'elu. And there are those women that are forbidden to both these and those. So the Mishnah goes on to explain the first set. Ve'elu mutarot lebalehen vasurot le'ivmehen. The following women are permitted to their husbands, but they're forbidden to the yavam. Kohen ediot shenasa et almana. Ordinary kohen who married a widow, permitted to him. V'yesh lo ach kohen gadol, and he has a brother who has a kohen gadol, who is forbidden to marry a widow, and therefore cannot perform yibum with her after the brother's death. Halal, so that woman is forbidden to the yavam. Halal shenasa keshera, or a halal. A halal is a male child of a kohen and a woman who is forbidden specifically to kohanim. That child is a halal; he's no longer a kohen. So this halal who is married to an eligible woman is permitted to him, the lady. V'yesh lo ach kasher, and he has a brother who is an eligible kohen. So the brother is not a halal, the brother is a kohen, so she cannot marry the brother, or she cannot do yibum with the brother, although she's married to the halal. Yisrael shenasa bat Yisrael. You have a Jewish Yisrael who's married to a Yisrael lady. V'yesh lo ach mamzer, and he has a brother who's a mamzer. So again, here the lady can marry the husband, or her actual husband, but not the brother, or if yibum came about. Mamzer shenasa mamzeret, or you have a mamzer who married a mamzeret. That's a good marriage. But yesh lo ach Yisrael, but he has a brother who is a Yisrael. So if he was to die and he falls, and the brother falls to yibum to a girl, since she's a mamzeret, she cannot marry the yavam. Mutarot, all of these cases, mutarot lebalehen, they are permitted to the husband. Vasurot le'ivmehen, but forbidden to the yavam. Mishnah Bet. Ve'elu mutarot le'ivmehen, vasurot le'ba'alehen. The following women are permitted to the yavams, but they're forbidden to the husbands. Kohen gadol shekidesh et almana. So you have a kohen gadol who became engaged to a widow, so that's forbidden to him. She's forbidden to him. V'yesh lo ach kohen ediot. And the kohen gadol has a brother who's a regular kohen. And the regular kohen is permitted to marry a widow. Kasher shenasa halala, or another case is you have an eligible kohen who married a halala, a lady who was born from a wrong marriage of a kohen, and let's say a divorcee, and that's a forbidden marriage. V'yesh lo a halal, but he has a brother who's a halal. So if the kasher husband passes away, the halal can then marry the halala. Yisrael shenasa mamzeret, or you have an ordinary Jew who married a mamzeret who's forbidden to him, v'yesh lo ach mamzer, and he has a brother that's a mamzer, so if he was to die, then there's a yibum match there that works. Mamzer shenasa bat Yisrael, or you have a mamzer who married a daughter of a Yisrael, an ordinary Jewess, that's forbidden to him, v'yesh lo ach Yisrael, but if he was to die and he has a regular Jewish Yisrael brother, then they can marry each other through yibum. All of these cases, mutarot le'ivmehen v'asurot lebalehen. They're permitted to the yavam, even though they're forbidden to the husbands. The third set, asurot la'elu ve'la'elu. There are women that are forbidden both to the yavam and to their husbands. For example, kohen gadol shenasa et almana, a kohen gadol who married a widow. V'yesh lo ach kohen gadol o kohen ediot, and he has a brother who is a kohen gadol or an ordinary kohen. In this case, since they completed the full marriage, then if the kohen gadol there passed away, the wife cannot perform yibum with either one of them. Therefore, they're both asur to this, asur to this. Kasher shenasa halala, or you have an eligible kohen who married a halala, v'yesh lo ach kasher. So if he passes away, so he can't marry the Chalala. He's a Kohen, he can't marry Chalala. But if he dies and he has a kosher brother, okay, also can't marry the Chalala. So they're both prohibited. Yisrael shenasa mamzeret veyesh lo ach Yisrael. Again, here you have a regular Jew, Yisrael, who marries a mamzeret, not allowed. And if he dies and has a brother who's also a regular Jew, also not allowed. They can't perform Yibum. Mamzer shenasa bat Yisrael. You have a mamzer who married the daughter of Yisrael. That's a forbidden marriage. V'yesh lo ach mamzer. And if he dies and the brother of this mamzer is also mamzer, it's also forbidden. So in all these cases, asurot la'elu ve'la'elu, the women are forbidden to both their husband and the yavams. Us'ar kol hanashim mutarot lebalehen ve'liv mehen. All other women not mentioned in this Mishnah are permitted to both their husbands and to their yavams. Mishnah Gimel. Shniyot midivrei sofrim. Regarding secondary arayot, who are forbidden by decree of the rabbi. So who is considered a secondary arayot? So Torah lists certain relatives that are biblically prohibited to a person. For example, a man's mother, person can't be with his mother. The rabbis added a grandmother and a great-grandmother. Okay, these are considered shniyot la'arayot. There's a lot of other ones, but there's shniyot midivrei sofrim. They are considered second arayot from the rabbis. So now, regarding all of these, shniya labal velo shniya yavam. If a woman is a secondary erva, so let's say a grandmother to the husband, but not to the yavam, then asura labal umuted leyavam. She's forbidden to the husband, but permitted to the yavam. Shniya layavam velo shniya labal. If she's a secondary erva to the yavam, but not to the husband, asura layavam umuted labal. She's forbidden to the yavam, but permitted to the husband. Shniya lazeh velazeh. If she's considered secondary to both the husband and the yavam, asura lazeh velazeh. She's forbidden rabbinically to both of them. She may not marry either one. En la ketubah. This secondary erva. En la lo ketubah. She gets no ketubah. She cannot get a payment for the ketubah. Velo pero. This is talking about a case where the man actually married. Okay, in violation of the rabbinic prohibition, he went and married this secondary erva. So the marriage is technically valid, but we're going to see that what this Mishnah is about is that the rabbis penalize her by depriving any or certain marital benefit. So en la lo ketubah, she doesn't get a ketubah. Velo perot, she doesn't receive payments from any produce of the property that her husband used. Velo mezonot, she doesn't receive food from her husband. So normally a husband's obligated to provide his wife food, money, whatever. But in this case, he's not obligated to support her. Velo belaot, she doesn't receive payment from any worn out property. V'avalad kasher. But you should know that if they were to have a child, the child is legitimate, the child is not a mamzer. V'chofin oto leotzi, and we force the husband to divorce her. Almana lekohen gadol, if a widow married a kohen gadol, which is biblically prohibited, strangely enough, the Mishnah actually treats it less severely. Gerusha b'chalotza lekohen ediot, or a divorcee chalutza married to an ordinary kohen, or mamzer netiyan leIsrael, or mamzer netiya married a Yisrael, or bat Yisrael netinu mamzer, or a daughter of a Yisrael married a natino mamzer. Yesh lan ketubah. Each of these women, although biblically prohibited to marry them, if they do it, yesh la ketubah, she receives her ketubah as well as all the other benefits that were mentioned above. And the idea is because since the women were biblically forbidden, the Chachamim were not worried that people are going to just start violating these commands. But the previous lists are secondary ervas, and therefore we're worried someone's going to come there. So the rabbis had to institute certain penalties, knas, to avoid having it take place. Okay, we'll stop here. We'll continue tomorrow.